I want to kick off by just asking, what is a budget?
It's about knowing what is essential and what is desirable, and being able to distinguish between the two. And if you need to make a cut, do try and cut the desirable stuff over the essential things. So don't cut down food for alcohol.
It's also an intention. It's something that you might plan in advance, but several things will come along the way that totally interrupt that plan. So I think it's a desired, you've got X amount, then you've got a certain amount of time, but 9 times out of 10 it never quite works, so you have to have a plan B as well. So,
especially with student loan and stuff, you're only going to get it a certain amount of time, and as soon as you get your student loan, I know people that just go, I'm just going to buy so much stuff, I've just suddenly got this money, and not realise rent happens and bills happen, and that's not just for that first kind of week where you get it and you feel rich. You've got to last it for like several months until you get the next one.
So how far ahead do you budget then?
So as soon as I kind of get my student loan, I'll make sure immediately like I pay my rent for the next kind of 3 or 4 months, maybe even more than that, and try and budget maybe like £20 aside each week in terms of like general shop that I know that I'll always need the essentials.
I think with students, because you get 3 student loan instalments, there's a tendency to try and plan for those 4 months when you're in between each one. But like me personally, because I work, I can plan a month because I get paid every month, so it's a little bit easier because you only got 4 weeks to plan for as opposed to 4 months.
Yeah, I've got 2 jobs. One of them's sort of fixed. I do a certain amount of hours, but the other one's quite casual. So it's sort of like I find it difficult because I know roughly how much money is coming in, but I could have a bit more depending on how much my second job sort of need me or how much work I get. So I think for me, I have to sort of almost assume like I'm not going to get that money when I budget, which can be a bit difficult. But then obviously if I get it, then I can be like, okay, I can spread that out over and also have a bit of a buffer in case I don't get that work the next month. So.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I tend to sort of plan what I'm doing the week, and I think about the month ahead. And then I also think about, well, what if I don't have this money? So then I sort of spend based on if I won't have extra money. Like say like my student loans come in, I think like what if it's not there? I just pretend it's not there and I carry on with the money that I normally spend. And then that way I sort of keep track of things and I prioritise a lot of the things that I do.
I don't know if anyone else gets it, but I find that sometimes the dates of the student loans instalments can trip you up as well. Yeah. You get to one of the most expensive times of the year, Christmas, and you're at the end of your loan, and then you struggle through Christmas and New Year, and then it gets paid to you on like the 10th of January or something. It's so frustrating, and the same's just happened with Easter as well. You're absolutely broke just in a couple of weeks. The whole 4 weeks off, and you're surviving on beans and toast, and then you come back and you've got a couple of £1,000 again. It's so you really do have to be careful with the pre-planning.